What's up, what's up, what's up, and welcome to In the Park, presented by Wake Up, your premier space for baseball news, stats, scores, just general talk, glazing of all shapes and sizes, as you'll hear from Dally in a second here. I want to give a shout out to everyone that's here. We got Nick, we got Dally, we got Matt, and we got Comic, otherwise known as Heel Brian. And today we're going to be talking about the solidified playoff bracket, and we're going to continue our little thing that we started last week with that we did with the AL teams. We're going to go through the pretty bad NL teams, and we're going to try and give one or two things that they could potentially do in the offseason to get better, whether that's a free agent, sell the team, whatever. You'll see as we go with that. And as always, we appreciate your comments and your support. So let's get started. If I'm remembering the numbers correctly, and Dally can correct me because he is the resident Guardians fan, I believe it was 15 and a half.
It was.
At the end of July.
Yep.
So Dally, as the Guardians fan, I know you've watched damn near every game. Give us the rundown. Give us a little month by month what you guys did, how you picked it up, what happened to the Tigers. A little quick blurb for me.
Well, in July, when we were 15 and a half games, we couldn't get the bats going. Pitching wasn't going too good. We couldn't get into a groove of anything. And then near the I would have to say August, middle of August, we started, get back into that groove. Batting started to pick up. Pitching started to pick up a little bit. We brought up CJ K-Fish, which now is he's a big prospect for us. Bringing him helped us a lot with the bats. Also George Valera, we saw what he did. He's been doing really well. And then Petey Halpin, he's probably the fastest base runner I've ever seen on the Guardians ever. And then September, when it came to September, beginning of September, we were only, 10 games? We were like 10 games out of first. We had a 2% chance of, making the playoffs. And all of a sudden it was like the 95 Cleveland Indians, bats
That's
started
great
going
team.
crazy. Yeah, bats started going crazy. Pitching was doing really well. Pitching in September for the Guardians, it was a 2.1 ERA. We barely let any runs go by us during then to now. And just like that, we're in the playoffs. We won the AL Central. And no one can really no, it's just up from here. Honestly, this is history, guys. This is history for the Guardians.
And Voigt's probably going to get manager of the year, I'd imagine.
He's got to get manager of the year after this. There's no way.
If not him, it'll go to Toronto. That's really the only two teams that could really get it.
Yeah. I don't disagree with that one bit. I will say
Maybe the Mariners. Maybe the Mariners, too. I forgot.
I will say this, and Dally can correct me on this. I believe the highest ERA out of the starting rotation was a 3.12. And that was from a former Diamondback, Slade Cecconi, if I'm not mistaken.
Yep. Yeah, Slade Cecconi has been doing really well in the month of September. I think there was only like one game in the month of September where he struggled, and I think he pitched at least 5 games. So he's all of our starting pitchers have stepped it up. I'm happy where we're at. There's gonna be games where we're just a gritty team. There's gonna be games where we're down 2-0, 3-0, but near the end of the game is when the switch starts to hit on this Guardians team, and the bats just start going. Like today, we got to the point where we were down 4-2, was within 1, then went down 5-3, tied it in the bottom of the 8th, and then it went into the extra innings tie game. So Rowdy Tellez for the Rangers hit a 3-run homer. So I honestly, I'm going to be completely honest with you guys. I thought the game was over. I was happy we won the division still, but then at the bottom of the 10th, Bo started us off, hit a RBI double, and then we got a guy on first and second. Both of them got walked. Brian Rocchio, who has been quiet during the month of September, came up the bat and blasted a three-run shot to win the game. I mean, that's what we call guard ball here.
I feel like that's been the norm for the Guardians, at least this year, but at least I'd say the past 3 to 4 years that we've seen them just claw and claw and claw, never out, never over. And I think, how long have you had the manager that you have now?
Yes, last year was his first year, so this would be his second.
So you can kind of see, even though he's only been there for 2 years, it's a lot. I would say it's a lot of the same guys, younger guys with your veteran presence of Jose Ramirez. He's keeping the culture. I think Jose is the most underappreciated baseball player in the league. He's my odds-on MLB or MVP every single year, and it's not just because of what he does on the field. It's the culture and the leadership he gives off the field, or in the dugout, or wherever he is. He's just that type of guy. Also, real quick, you had said something. I forget what the name was, but you said, "Oh, I think he's the fastest runner we've had on the Guardians in a while." I saw a video the other day, and I wish I would have saved it so I could show it. But it was basically the first, or the quickest, 10 quickest home to first runs. And you know who made it in that video?
Who?
Jose Ramirez.
Yeah, he's in the top
There
5.
you go.
And
I say
hold
top
on.
5.
Hold on.
I'm concerned.
He's in the top 5 in stolen bases in the American League.
Yeah.
Yep.
That's right.
And the reason why I say it, because at the time when Petey Halpin was a prospect for the MLB, he was like one of the fastest guys to run around the bases as a prospect. So he's a fast guy. It kind of, I'm not saying he is, but it kind of reminds me of Andrew McCutchen, how fast he used to be running around the bases. That's who he kind of reminds me of when he runs around the bases. And
So he's got better sprint speed.
Yeah.
So he got that burst. Like, nice.
And I told 64 this before. I said, dude, believe it or not, I think Jose is the best base runner in baseball right now. And I said it. It's a hot take. I really think Jose is the best base runner in baseball.
I don't think that's a fair shake.
Him and I would say, and I'm probably just being a little bit biased, Corbin Carroll, just because of his speed. His speed
I'm going to be biased. Durant
as well. There's a lot
Durant
of guys.
can turn a single into a triple.
Are we talking just speed or just like a smart base runner, like a good base runner that way?
No, smart base runner. That's Jose Ramirez.
I'm talking speed.
Now, smart, yeah. Smart base
Francisco Lindor. Juan Soto. Deceptive.
No, should be up there.
38 steals.
Chokers.
Not Soto. Not Soto. The starting pitching. That's it. All the pitchers.
You spent all that. You spent all the Mets spent all that money. And what did it get them? Nothing.
No, nothing.
Unfortunately.
Didn't Albert Pujols end his career on something like 21 straight stolen bases, basically walking to the bag?
Yep.
Yeah, I mean, he stole like 20 or 30. Like Goldschmidt, you don't have to be fast. You just got to be able to read the ball. Like Freeman, there's a lot of guys like that to sneak up on you. Josh Naylor, look at him. He's slow as hell. And he's got like 21 steals just with the Mariners.
Yeah, but if you get in his way, he's running you over.
Yeah, that's a beefy boy. Not quite a fat leap, but he's beefy.
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay. So let's just get into this real quick. We've got our finalized teams. So we'll just go through that real quick, and then we'll go through the bracket, give our predictions. So no surprise, we've got the Blue Jays, the Mariners, and the one surprise, the Guardians in the AL winning their divisions, and then the Yankees, Red Sox, Tigers in the wild card. Excuse me. And then Brewers, Phillies, Dodgers, Cubs, Padres, Reds. So the way that the playoff bracket breaks down, and I do want to start with Dally again real quick, because you guys just swept the Tigers and then won 2 out of 3 in the last series of the season.
Yep.
And now you get them in the wild card round. Do you think it's a benefit to get them again? Or do you think it's going to be one of these, oh, we already won so many against them, can we do it again?
I think what it comes down to is we need to be greatly prepared. Yes, I understand we're 8-5 against the Tigers this season, but at the same time, we're going to be seeing Skubal 1 out of the 3 games. That's who we need to prepare for. Honestly, all their pitchers. To be honest, that we just need to be prepared. I don't think we should definitely not overlook the Tigers. They've been, despite that last half of the season for the Tigers, they're still a really good team, despite losing all those games near the end of the season. I think, in my opinion, home field advantage will definitely take place in this game. And this is where I think, we will have the edge over Detroit in this series. And that's because of the 10th man. Cleveland has one of the most underrated atmospheres in the MLB, and that's where I think it'll take a factor.
Especially in the playoffs in Cleveland.
Yeah. I actually went to 2 games last year against Detroit, and the Grand Slam was the loudest I've ever heard that stadium in a while.
Was that the one off of Big Christmas, or was that
No,
the other one?
it was Lane Thomas's Grand Slam.
Oh, that's right, Lane Thomas.
Skubal.
I forgot.
It was off of Skubal.
So with all those factors taken into account, you've got the Guardians beating the Tigers, Dally?
Yeah.
Okay, boys. What about the rest of you?
Okay, I'm gonna go with what Dowie's saying here. They mainly have to prepare for Skubal, mainly because of his velocity. I just don't feel like Skubal's got that much control. But outside of that, the one pitcher that I'm hoping that Detroit can, turn around, Casey Mize. Casey's been, in my opinion, he's been dominant the last part of the season. Every time he started, he just never got run support from Detroit. Outside of that,
let me ask you this: what happened to him today? Oh,
he got shelled.
What happened to him today? He got beat. That's right.
He got
beat. He got beat. Just plain and simple. Nothing around it. He got beat.
I'm not afraid to admit that. I'm not.
Mize he's an Arizona State guy, right?
No,
Yeah.
he's not Auburn. He's Auburn.
Oh, Auburn. I think so. Correct me if I'm wrong, because I'm not going to lie. Since NFL started, I've been a little bit lackluster with the baseball. So obviously we have Skubal. I'm assuming they're pumping out Flaherty in game 2. Okay, so I want to make sure he wasn't injured before I went off on a tangent. Flaherty to me has been it's a roller coaster. He comes in on such a hot streak from last season. I think he finished with the Dodgers last year.
He did.
Does well, wins the World Series, comes to the Tigers, and you honestly, unless you knew he was on the Tigers, you had never heard of him this year. It's just been such a slow start, slow season in general for him. That to me. Go ahead, Comic.
He pooped the bed. Point an example. He just wanted his contract. That's all he wanted. He just wanted to get his money, and he has done absolutely diddly poo. Because I had him in fantasy and I dropped him.
But I think that, a 3-game series, I think the statistic is something crazy, like 84% of teams that win game 1 win the series. Something ridiculous. I
That's
know it's
correct. There's only been not including 2020, only 2 teams have even went the full series in the wild card round.
yeah.
They're both the Mets. So
So
Of course.
I do think that yes, Skubal is going to be a tough matchup because I'm just certain that they're putting him out in game one, assuming they're still going Flaherty in game two. If obviously, like Comic said, he's pooped the bed. He's just been absolutely terrible. But if the Jack Flaherty of old comes out and pitches, that is going to be a tough series. I'm personally still taking the Guardians. I say it every year. It's not necessarily the team. It's how the team plays at the important moments. So they finished on like a 10-2 or 13-2 streak at the end of the season here. You cannot bet against that team. Especially when they've beaten the Tigers 5 times in 6 games. How about you, Nick?
it's probably going to be Cleveland. I feel like that's going to be the one that likely goes 3 games of all the matchups. But it really depends on what Skubal comes to play. If he pitches game 1, I would honestly have him pitch game 2, just in case Cleveland does win. I'd pitch him game 2 to get the win and then piggyback everybody on game 3. But I doubt they do that. So, I don't know.
All right, Comic, how about yourself? You got Detroit or you got Cleveland?
I'm going to take Cleveland. 2-1.
Okay.
I see Detroit at least winning 1 game.
Yeah, I think being that's in the interdivision game or series is what's going to make it so competitive for myself. That's just my thing. It's like the same thing you see in the NFL. It's like we got 2 Steelers fans up here. I'll use them as an example. Steelers could be the best team in the NFL. They could play the poo-poo Browns, and they could have a close game or lose. It just always happens, I think this is going to be something similar where the Cleveland Guardians are coming in super hot, but because they've played this team so much, they've got the interdivision rivals. It's going to be a really hard-fought 3-game series.
Who's the other Steeler fan?
Right next to you, down there.
Oh, what's up, bro?
Yes, sir.
Go Cleveland! Sweep.
And then we go to the other side, same thing. I didn't even realize this when I was saying it. We've got the Red Sox and we've got the Yankees. And we'll start with Comic on this one.
I am not afraid of the Yankees. We just, if you go and look at when we played them in the regular season, we destroyed them. Except for the last 2 out of 3, we got beat. And I see it being another series 2-1. And here's another little fact. I'm going to go back. Us clinching the wild card. We're the first team to ever have a walk-off to clinch a wild card. And that was done on Friday night. And it was a triple.
Yeah. I actually think all the matchups could be best of 3 except for the Cubs and Padres.
The only thing I'm worried about is Aaron Judge. He's the only Yankee I am worried about.
Wow, he doesn't hit in the postseason. His season ended already.
Where's your
That's-
postseason? Hey, answer me this. Where's your postseason? Oh, that's right. You're sitting at home. Bye-bye.
And this
Oh, wait.
is what I say. Thing.
What do you think,
Anyways,
Matt?
And I'm worried about. I don't know if Ramon Anthony is going to be playing in the wild card series because
That would be foolish if they do.
He has missed the last 2 or 3 weeks. I know that for a fact.
Okay.
All right, Matt. What do you think about this? Yankees Red Sox, the most storied rivalry in baseball. We see it here in the wild card. Aaron Judge is going to be a non-factor. Red Sox probably have the likely Cy Young. Where are we going?
I could see it going 3 games, but give me Boston to go 2-1. Honestly, Boston
Who else is who are the Yankees even going to throw out there? Like just Fried and Rodon? They're going to throw back-to-back lefties?
I mean,
Probably. Who else
Well,
could they throw?
Free
They got
is the American League wins leader right now.
What? Oh,
Yeah.
Crochet finished one behind him, I think.
No. Crochet had like 16, and Max had like 19 wins.
Oh, they were neck and neck like 2 weeks ago. I thought it was only one behind each other.
I wish.
Yeah, it'll probably be Crochet or Scooble getting the Cy Young too, so
And-
that'll be interesting.
And if you can't get to the Red Sox middle relief when they put Garrett Whitlock and then Chaplin in, game over.
Yeah. And Chapman, I'm not sleeping. He's still got that velo as far as like, with how long he's been in the league. He's still got good velo and
He's
great.
like
His
They
velo's
showed it-
jumped
they-
up since he got older.
Exactly.
he's like 7th or 8th
Like-
in all-time saves.
Yeah,
think-
and I think that's what's going to be the clincher against the Yankees. They're going to expect him to, give up a homer and do that dumb smile grin he does. But I think this time he's going to strike out the side. And one of the games it's going to be Judge. I don't know who the fuck they have put in the order. Judge, Bellinger, Stanton, whoever it is. 1, 2, 3.
Yeah.
All right, Dally, where do you fall on this?
Knowing the struggles of the Yankees' best hitters in the playoffs, I've witnessed it myself. I'm leaning towards Boston, but I'm gonna be the opposite of you guys in saying it's gonna go 2-1. I'm going with the sweep. I think the Red Sox sweep the Yankees
Okay.
because I just don't think the Yankees are as good as people think. I really
Nah.
Yeah.
they're not as good as people think.
But Dally, I will say this: next year when Cole comes back, they will be a much different team.
Oh, I agree. But this year they're no.
Gotta get them while they're down.
Yep.
Yeah, there's a video out there somewhere. I'm sure it'll circulate if it ever gets clipped. But I want to say it was either on the first or second baseball podcast ever, or on the Wake Up podcast. Sorry, one of the first ones that I was on, and we had hot takes, and I said, "This is when the Yankees were firmly in the wild card, months and months ago." I said the Yankees, as they're struggling with pitching out, everything else, are not going to make the playoffs. Clearly, I was wrong. Got to eat my words. Apologize to all the Yankee fans out there.
Eat the poop bed.
It is what it is. That being said, I'm with Dally. I think this is a 2-0. I think Boston's just been the better team. They've been the better team throughout. And like we kind of talked about a couple weeks ago, or like 3-4 weeks ago, and like I think it was mentioned 2 weeks ago, is as far as all the statistical categories, Boston ranks, they're high up in damn near every single one. They don't necessarily transition that into a high amount of wins or the most wins in the MLB. But when you get to, just a 3-game series, just a 5-game series, just a 7-game series, it's going to be the teams that are consistently at that high level. And that's why I've always, even with Boston in the 5th seed, I've always had them going and making a run in the playoffs because, I think when we looked it up, they were like 8th in hitting, 7th in pitching. They were just like basically top 10 or top 12 in almost every good category that you could look at. So I think they sweep the Yankees. I think the Yankees this year, at least, like Comic said, without Cole, just overrated. I think Fried's a great pitcher, but I think he's benefited from, getting the run support from the Judges, from the Bellingers, from the Stantons when he's healthy or when he's hitting. So I'm going to go with the 2-0 sweep myself as well.
Okay.
And then we will jump over to the NL side of the bracket. Very interesting matchups here. I know what I want to say. I don't know if it's the smartest thing, but we'll start with the Reds and the Dodgers. I just real quick off the rip, I'll say my piece and I'll let you guys go at it. As Nick had made the comment earlier, he thinks all these could go 3 games. This is one that I think could go 3 games. This is also the one.
What the?
Hold on.
Dang.
What
Sorry
the?
about
Asper.
that. Something's
Oliver, go
going
to
on
bed.
there.
Holy cow.
So the Reds, I think I've said it a couple times while we've been chit-chatting over the last month or so. is if they make the playoffs, they are going to be one of the most exciting teams. I think playoff Ellie is going to be a thing. I think we could see this guy hit damn near 600 in this series. I don't care who, besides maybe Yamamoto on the mound for the Dodgers, I don't think anyone's going to be able to slow him down. So give me a 3-game series. Honestly, give me the Reds. I think the Reds could take this.
Reds are going to win game 1, guarantee.
You think they're pitching?
Whoever wins the series is taking that series. I'm gonna give my prediction on this one. Then I got to bounce. I'm gonna say this. I've seen the Dodgers postseason firsthand. Game 3 against the Diamondbacks when we made the World Series run that year. Give me the Reds.
Hell yeah.
Give me the Reds. So.
I just want to throw this comment back up there since we just finished up with the AL.
Yeah, it's from Boss.
Yeah, I am interested to see if you're still in the comments, Boss. I am interested to see what your World Series picks would be. So if you want to take a look at the bracket and then get back to us in the comment. But Matt, thank you for checking in. You go handle business since you got to step out.
Sir.
We will see you next week.
Later.
Later, guys.
Later,
Peace
bye.
out.
So you think, Nick, I think you're the one that just said the Reds win game 1 without a doubt. Are you assuming, even with Yamamoto on the mound for the Dodgers?
Yep.
He has been just on another level at least the second half of the season, basically the whole season, I want to say, that he's been healthy.
Yeah, I mean, you also got to take into account, it's Terry Francona versus Dave Roberts. You got a proven, great manager, and then you just have a figurehead that helms the Dodgers. He's a terrible manager.
And
He's terrible with the bullpen. He's just inherited a good team and a winning percentage. He's not good. I don't care if they put him in the Hall of Fame. I don't even know if he's won Manager of the Year. But Dodgers are overrated. This is a down year again after last year. So
Dave Roberts was a player for Terry Francona.
And yeah, Terry's what was his first or second year?
Second year.
Second year. That was
he was playing. I believe he was playing for either Padres or the Dodgers.
I was gonna say, I think it was the Padres. He had that. I think that was the 0-4. Was that game 6 or 7? The steal of second base.
6.
Yeah. Oh,
it was in Fenway, and Game 7 was in Yankee Stadium.
Yeah, Game 6 was the Big Poppy grand slam, right, or the home run.
Mm-hmm.
Yep, that was one of the all-time games, man.
Dave Roberts luckily has won NL Manager of the Year one time, his first year with the Dodgers. And if I remember correctly, is the Dodgers team that he adopted, I feel like the year before, I don't know if I'm remembering this correctly.
Don Mattingly.
But I think they just wildly underperformed. They might have had some major injuries.
You know who the manager was? Don Mattingly.
Who is an eerily the same type of player with Dave Roberts. A way better manager, but they were both bad with the bullpen.
They did win 92 games. I mean, it's not, in 2015. Sorry, we're going down a rabbit hole here, everybody. I'm interested to see why he won it.
I don't know. They got
game. They won one.
Yeah, they got knocked out by the Mets that round too. That year.
Yeah, they won one less game in 2016 than did 2015. I have no idea why he won Manager of the Year.
I don't know why they didn't give it to Terry Collins that in 2015, or I don't remember who else was good that year. Maybe the Reds. No, the Pirates.
Real quick to the other piece of the bracket. I think this is going to be a general consensus. I will only speak for myself, though. I agree with what Nick said earlier. I think the Padres sweep this. I think the Cubs have fallen off. PCA has been horrible the last couple months of the season. Who was their spark the first half of the season? And I think that the team is still intact. The team is still decent. But what the Padres built from the trade deadline on, whether they've put it together every single game, which isn't necessarily true, but what they've built is way better than what the Cubs have right now. Statistically.
Yeah. Padres have the best bullpen overall, team ERA. They're good at taking a lot of pitches. The Cubs do not have any pitching. Their bullpen is terrible. You have Cade Horton and Matthew Boyd. Cade Horton's a rookie. I doubt he's going to perform in the playoffs. And then Matthew Boyd, you don't really know what you're going to expect with him.
I mean, he did perform really good in the
Yeah, he had a
ALDS.
great year overall. Better in the first half, a little spotty in the second. But he's a big strikeout pitcher. But you can get to him after 5 innings, like the third time through the order. That's their weakness with Chicago.
Yeah,
Tigers should have never let him go.
I'm gonna say this.
I agree.
With Matthew Boyd, when he pitched for the Guardians last year in the ALDS, I think it was game 2, and I'm pretty sure he pitched game 5. I may have to be corrected. Game 2, he did not let no runs. Well, yeah, he didn't. I think he only let like 1 run score in against the Tigers last year. And he was going up against I believe it was Scooble in game 2 last year.
Probably.
I was at that game. Matthew Boyd pitched really good. He had like 9 strikeouts. He performed.
I didn't even know he was. Was he a starter for you guys last year? Or did he just
Yeah.
come up in the pen?
No,
He was a starter.
He was a starter.
He played really well in the postseason last year. I'll give Boyd that.
Yeah, game 2. I don't have who the starting pitcher was. The losing pitcher was Clase, and the winning pitcher was Will Vest, Will Vest.
Yeah,
Oh yeah,
Yeah,
Class A imploded.
Yeah, that went 0-0 into the 7th. I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, because Kerry Carpenter hit a 3-run homer to
Yeah.
seal it.
And then game 5 was Scooble, and technically, Boyd didn't get the win. Heron got the win, but yeah, he did. Pitch well in both those games. I just looked it up real quick. I think the only saving grace, personally, for the Cubs is that they're playing at Wrigley. I believe.
Well, yeah, the
wrong,
win.
They're playing all three games at Wrigley.
How?
I think that's how they play the first round, isn't it?
The first 2 games will be in Wrigley, and then if there's a third game, it'll be in San Diego.
Not the wild card
The wild
round.
card. It's all home. It's all.
Yeah,
home.
whoever has the better record gets home field.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So I think that's really their only saving grace is obviously teams perform better at home. I just think that the Padres have put more together this season to overcome that home and away splits in the playoffs. Next week we will talk about the next level of the bracket. We won't go through the whole thing here. We'll give our final projections all the way up to the World Series. But let's now turn our attention. We started it last week with the AL. We ran out of time. We started going a little in depth on it. Let's go through the NL teams, and we'll try to keep it to two per division here. Just the 2 worst teams or the single worst team in the division, and what they can do to be better next year. Obviously. So, for example, we got the NL East. We'll start with the NL East. The Nationals, which I don't know about you guys. For me, I thought the Nationals were going to be third. Third was my low for the Nationals. I really thought they could have contended this year for that division. I think that what was going to let them down was their pitching, just because they've got the young talent in the field. They've got the young talent with the bats, but their pitching, I think, really let them down. So for them next year is I'd love to see them go out and just try and get some of these guys. Some of the guys we mentioned last week is Dylan Cease is going to be a potential free agent. Zach Gallen, Framber Valdez. They haven't had necessarily good seasons this year, but we've seen it before. Free agent pitchers come in, new team, new surroundings, new club, new clubhouse, just new atmosphere. That's what I'm looking for, and they just play better. So obviously, looking at the list of potential starting pitching free agents, Verlander's on there. I don't know how many more years he's going to have. Jordan Montgomery, Kershaw, he's retiring. Scherzer's on there, but I would love, as a Phillies fan, obviously I don't want them to beat the Phillies, but if they were going to be competitive, I'd love to see them go out and get at least 1, if not 2 free agent pitchers. Another year of those bats kind of just getting acclimated to the game at the highest level, and I think they could be pretty decent.
I think they're going to bring back Max Scherzer. If he's going to play another year, I can see them bringing him. If they do bring in a veteran arm, they need to try and land a front line free agent to go with that young lineup.
Yeah,
Well, could be Kyle Schwarber. Who knows?
So interestingly enough, and I haven't heard any news about it with the Phillies. So Real Muto's set to be a free agent this year, potential free agent. I don't know what the Phillies' plan is because, as far as I know, they do not have a replacement. I don't know if they're going to try and find somebody in free agency as well. If they're going to come back, I think having somebody like Real Muto in that clubhouse with those young guys, he's like a pro's pro to me. As he does everything right. You don't really see him, argue with the umpires that much. You don't really see him get thrown out. He doesn't make huge mistakes and cost teams the game. I think somebody like that. Real Muto would be one. Somebody like Luis Arias, these guys that they kind of like just do everything right. Game by game, they do everything right. I think would be a big, solid impact for those young guys, especially like James Wood. Getting somebody like Real Muto or somebody like Arias, decent hitter, helping out these young guys, cleaning up their strikeout numbers, basically, helping them out in the lineup, stuff like that. What do you think, Dally?
I would have to agree with that. I think even with the young bats, I think if you add a little bit of veteran presence in that lineup, I think that'll kind of lead these young hitters that are with the Nationals, lead them to or show them like Jose. Like, okay, I'm sorry, I'm gonna stop bringing up my players, but. You got to bring in a reliable veteran that can teach these young players in that lineup to, be patient. Don't swing at shit in the dirt. Don't always be up in the count. Don't swing for the fences all the time. A base hit is better than no hit. I think that's what it comes down to, in my opinion. And pitching. Like you guys said, I think pitching is a real factor for Washington too.
Yeah, I keep forgetting. This might be the most forgettable starting pitcher, I think, in MLB, but Mackenzie Gore, just a strikeout machine. He's a great pitcher. Honestly, he skips my mind every time I start talking about the Nationals because I always instantly go to Mitchell Parker.
He was an all-star too.
And he's
Gore.
but by the way,
No,
he's also
Gore.
a free agent. He's a free agent too.
Mackenzie Gore.
Yes, and he's got the dickhead agent as his agent.
Well, the only problem with Scott Boras is he's great for the elite contracts, bad at everything else.
Yeah.
So Mackenzie Gore is not an elite talent. Like the only one free agent pitcher that might get those numbers is Framber Valdez, and even that I don't think he's going to be. So.
But Dally, back to what you were saying is, I think Jose Ramirez is the perfect example of what we're talking about here. And I go back, I want to say it was 2 years ago in the playoffs. Is Oscar Gonzalez who Oscar Gonzalez is without somebody like Jose Ramirez there? I mean, realistically, I really don't think that he goes. Where is he at? Is he back with you guys this year? Is he on a different team?
I think he's playing overseas right now. I don't think he's on a team.
I was going to say he might be with the Nationals.
I don't remember. I
just thought of him like this morning, and I couldn't remember if it was Oscar Gonzalez or is it also Cleveland Mercado?
Oh, are you
guys have a
Mercado?
Yeah, I couldn't remember which one had that big hit in the playoffs a couple years ago against Cleveland, I think.
Oh no,
the Yankees.
No, that was
Yeah, like a single up the middle in like a 15-inning game or something.
No, that was Oscar Gonzalez. I'm sorry. Yeah, that was Oscar Gonzalez.
Yeah, I couldn't remember which one. I was like, it's one of those guys.
Yeah. I think I'm pretty sure he's playing overseas. I don't think he's on a team right now.
Yeah, his last 5 games, according to Baseball Reference, were what's the 5th month? May.
Yeah.
Something. May 3rd through May 3rd through 7th. It looks like he was on the Padres.
Let me see.
Oh wow.
That's what I'm seeing. Just his last 5 games. It doesn't show me where he's currently playing. I'm trying to find it.
He's in Japan. Nippon Professional something.
But to go along with what we've been saying, is I don't think, obviously it seems to be true, is Oscar Gonzalez is not Oscar Gonzalez without somebody like Jose Ramirez in the clubhouse. It seems to me that he needed that guy, that veteran that's going to keep you pushing and just keep you down the right path, doing the right things, and it worked out in that one playoff run. What was that? Was it 23? I think it was 23, 22 or 23.
22.
22 was Seattle's first time making the playoffs.
Yeah, 22 because that's when
You're not even bringing up Cruz for the Nationals, who finally got brought up this year.
Yeah, Dylan Cruz.
Dylan Cruz. Well, I
Played
wrapped
it-
him up. I wrap him up in that young talent.
He played at LSU.
CJ Abrams, I'd still wrap up in that young talent, even though he's a little bit older.
Former Padre.
But I would say like Abrams, Cruz, Wood, or Woods. I forget.
James Wood, yeah.
James
Yeah.
Wood.
They have a young, and I would call them each one of them. I would call studs. I think they, in their own right, they will be studs in the future. I think it's going to take them. I thought they could have put it together this year. I'd say by next year, maybe the end of the season, they make a little bit of a run. 2 years for sure. I think they're going to be pretty decent. I do want to touch on, because we've brought them up a couple times over the course of the last 2 months, is the Atlanta Braves.
Oh God.
They've been bad. They've been pretty bad. They're sub 500. I don't think any of us saw that coming this year. What's the change that they need to do? Is it just keep the same guys and hope that they perform next year? Was it injuries? What can they do this offseason for next year to be better?
Starting pitching.
yeah, that and I think health really played a factor in this season for the Braves. It seemed like
They're
definitely
going to lose Marcelo Zuna, too, so they're going to lose a DH bat.
Mm-hmm.
They got Profar, but I don't know if they want to use him as DH or a fielder.
Yeah. And then you have Acuna that I mean, he's either he plays well and all of a sudden he gets hurt. So I mean, if he could stay healthy, I think that Braves team will be all right. Like I think between him, Marcel, and honestly, those two are honestly it in my book. Those are like your leaders in the clubhouse, just like we talked about.
I think they'd trade Acuna within 2 years. I think he'll be traded.
We've had this talk. We have a buddy within the Wake Up podcast community called he goes by Wake Up Raven. He's a big Braves fan. We're gonna have him on here one time in the next couple weeks because he played baseball at a decently high level. He ended up getting injured, but he's a huge Braves fan. And I made a statement to him. It was more just to upset him, but I'm really starting to believe what I said. I said that Ronald Acuna is the most mid superstar there is. There's no doubt that he is a superstar. But does he really make the team better? When he plays at a high level, I don't think the team plays at a high level. You saw it with the year they won the World Series. He was injured.
He wasn't there.
He wasn't there. Last year he was injured, and they
got better.
And they got better. Yeah, exactly. I think there's no doubt in my mind he's a superstar. The things he does on the field are superstar level. But as a team factor, he does not help the team. He really doesn't. I don't know if he needs to change the scenery, but I can imagine that they can get a haul for him. I mean, realistically, we're talking like I think it's at least 6 players, if not some other superstars in return. Make it like 3 to 4 players, just based off his talent. But that's not the only thing I really wanted to say about the Braves. They are a good team. They underperformed this year. Nothing.
They had a lot of
great.
injuries, so
Yeah.
that'll happen. They didn't sign anybody in free agency.
Hold on. What happens in all sports? Next man up.
Yeah, you got to have a contingency plan.
Next man up. It happens in every sport every year.
Yeah, but
Their issue is the same thing with Baltimore. They refused to sign free agents. Baltimore, I think the biggest name they got was Charlie Morton. Atlanta, their biggest signing was Profar. That was it.
Yeah,
that's what their detriment.
What you got to do though is you got to be able to have depth. You got to be able to trust your starters. You got to be able to trust the players that will back them up. You can't just, we could say it's like every sport is a next man up sport, but you got to be able, as a coach, as a team, you got to be able to trust that player that's coming in for that injured star, like Acuna. You got to be able to trust that player, and that's why I think that kind of screwed. That's what kind of screwed the boots.
I think that's something that they could do in the past. 2 years ago, last year, 3 years ago, they could believe, oh, we have the depth on our bench. We have the depth to somebody gets injured, we're fine. This year they get Acuna back. They look, decent in the beginning of the season, or when they got him back, when he first came back healthy. Then they start losing guys. They lose Riley, I think, for an extended amount of time. They lose Albies for a little bit. I think Michael Harris was out for a month randomly. So it's like they just, like Nick said, I think they just lost too much over the course of the season. I think realistically at the end, at the end of the season going into next season, they will be fine. I don't think they're necessarily going to compete for that division, but they'll be better than fourth, and they'll be better than 76 to 86. I think they'll be closer to 80 or even 90 wins.
Mm-hmm.
And then I think Acuna is going to get traded just because of his attitude. It's not been gelling for years now. I mean, he's better than Jazz Chisholm, but that's a apt comparison. But then, so if he was to get traded, he's somebody that can eat the rest of his contract. So,
He's by far
Yeah.
better.
yeah. Jazz Chisholm, I think, is the most overrated player in baseball.
I agree.
I love Jazz Chisholm. I don't know why.
I don't know why either, man. Everybody hates
I know
him.
why,
really
because he's a
Teammates, fans, other
'Cause he's a
clubs.
Yankee, that's why.
Nah, I hate him on the Marlins. He's a
Because
fucking-
you are
I
a
hate that he's
secretly
on the
Yankees
Yankees.
fan.
And he
I
was
hate
on the
that
cover of
he's on
MLB The Show for what reason? Even though I eerily predicted it.
Oh, man.
Stupid. Ellie De La
What was
Cruz,
that?
I think, is also close to that level of overrated. We'll see how he does next year.
So going into the Central, I don't want to stick too much on the Braves there. I really, realistically, and speak up if you think any different. I think obviously not the Brewers, not the Cubs, not the Reds. They all made the playoffs. I think that we'll start with the Pirates. I think realistically we could touch on the Cardinals. I think their biggest thing though, just to go into them
Manager.
real quick, manager. I think that they've just for so long, as long as I can remember, back to Wainwright, Chris Carpenter, all those pitchers they've had they just keep pitchers forever. And they just believe that they're going to be good forever. And yes, it worked out for a while with Wainwright. And then eventually, you saw it as he got way into his upper age. He wasn't as effective and he wasn't as good. I really think that that's their main issue, is that they just keep these pitchers for too long. They don't restock and rebuild that pitching rotation. And that's what's killed them for the last couple seasons here. They stay competitive because their lineup isn't really the worst lineup I've ever seen. They're decently young. Nolan Gorman, I think, is going to be a great power bat for them for the next, couple seasons at least as he comes into his prime. But I really do think that they need to revamp something with that pitching staff.
I'd have to agree with you. I wasn't they have the starting lineup. They have the roster. They just, in my opinion, I just don't think their pitching wasn't there this year. Like they were in the playoffs last season, correct? They were in the postseason. They were in the wild card, I believe.
No, I don't think so.
No, I don't think they made it. I think they just missed out.
No, they've been hovering around close to 500 or worse for a couple of years.
I in my opinion, I think pitching is the big reason for St. Louis missing the playoffs this year.
I think it's Oliver Marmol. He took over from Mike Schilt, who was let go because Schilt didn't want to get too analytical at his job. So they let him walk stupidly after they just went to the playoffs that year. They won 20 in a row or 19. Marmol comes in, and every year you've heard, you can look it up, that he's lost the locker room. The vibes are off. They don't listen to him because he's a terrible manager. So I think they really need to just fire him. Rocco Baldelli, too. Just random, but he wasn't fired yet.
Yeah, when your starting rotation is spearheaded by Miles Mikolas, and nothing against Mikolas, I think he's a decent pitcher.
But it's Sonny Gray.
Well, yeah, but Sonny Gray this year was not as effective as Sonny Gray last year.
Nah.
This goes right into that thing that I've been saying, is that they get these pitchers and they just keep them for that extra year too long. I'm hoping. I mean, you look at Sonny Gray; he does not look like an old guy, but he's pretty old, if I remember. He's 35.
He's probably
36.
yeah, I'd say he's been in the league for at least 10 years now.
He's at least
This is his
34.
fourth. This is his fourth team.
Yeah.
Yeah, because he was. Who did he start with? The Reds? No,
I think-
Reds, A's, Yankees,
Yankees.
and the Cardinals.
I don't even remember who he started with, but
Started with the Reds.
He started with
was it the Reds and then
I
the
think-
Yankees?
the Yankees, then the
He was
A's.
awful with the Yankees.
Oh, he was hard. Well, I thought he was great with the Yankees.
I thought he was off. Oh,
No,
duh.
I think that the term I usually use when I talk to people that are Cardinals fans is like almost like a forced rebuild. Is you don't need to rebuild your whole thing. You know, there's certain pieces that you just have to do. If it means you have a down year next year, it means you have a down year. But there's certain pieces that you need to fix that you're just not addressing year in and year out. And I think that's where they're at. Is they just need to take a season and just realize, hey, we're missing this, this, and this, and we need to fix those things. And then
They're going to trade Arenado this year too, because he is going to be a little more lenient on his no trade. Not saying that I'll get him a haul, but I could. You never know. We could get for that.
Yeah. He's at that point in his career where he should just go somewhere where maybe he can platoon. You know, he doesn't have to be the everyday starter somewhere.
They could trade him and Nolan Gorman to Tampa for Caminero.
They probably could, honestly. I don't know if Tampa would be for it, but it would be.
Tampa's not going to keep him, and Caminero is horrible at defense, so that would get you two gloves.
Then we'll get into the Pirates, which the Pirates to me are one of the more interesting.
And we're on to the NL West. Okay.
No. Hold on. You're going to have a National League Cy Young Award winner from the Pirates this year.
Oh, easily.
So we can't just the Pirates' problem is they don't go out and spend any money. They do great in drafting, but they don't spend the money. That's what a lot of these teams don't do.
Here's what Bob Nutting's going to do. He's going to sell the Cy Young, just the award for whatever money he can get. And then he's going to tell Paul Skeens to shut up for about 5 more years and deal with it.
I think
Paul Skeens never opens his mouth. Paul Skeens is a very quiet guy.
Nah, he's just all about the game.
You don't hear much ever come out of his mouth after a game.
I think what the Pirates need to do, and I pay attention to the Pirates outside of the Guardians. That's one of the teams I mainly pay attention to.
I love the Pirates.
I think they need to build around Paul Skeens at pitching. You build around Paul Skeens at pitching, there's no reason why you can't win more games. But the thing is you got to.
Whoa.
Dally?
Oh, I think we lost Dally. But to go off what he's saying is we've kind of discussed this way back. We discussed it on the Wake Up podcast, the main one that's on Mondays or now Tuesdays and Fridays at 9 p.m. Is they drafted a kid this year, Seth Hernandez, in the 6th spot of the draft, who I personally thought I'm not a scout. I'm just basing this off what I've read and what I've seen. Is I personally think he was a steal. He's a high school pitcher. He needs I don't think it was necessarily the right pick for their franchise, but to go along with what Dally's saying is they are starting. It seems like they're starting to just really dive into this pitching rotation and say, hey, we've got the best pitcher. We might have one of the best number 2s in Jared Jones when healthy. And to bring
Keller,
he missed the whole year.
Mitch Keller's been underrated.
And Keller as a number 3 or even as number 2, depending on where Jones falls in when he comes back from injury. And then you have a guy that in probably 2 or 3 years might be able to come up and eat some innings for you. You might have the best pitching rotation in say 3 to 4 years, depending on how the other teams, how their prospects pan out. If this guy pans out, I think they really could have one of the most dominant pitching rotations. I think where it lies for them is they need college established bats, which they never draft, which they never pick up in free agency, like you said, and that's where they're falling out. They also had this guy, pretty well known name, O'Neal Cruz. That I love O'Neal Cruz. I think he's a freak of nature. He's too tall to play shortstop. They moved him to the outfield. I think he's been a
dinner.
He's just an awful glove.
I just think if you add a couple of bats with O'Neal Cruz, I think the Pirates you'll see the Pirates back in the playoffs.
MLB needs to step in and force them to spend like they did with Oakland last offseason. With Skeens getting the Cy Young, they can't just willfully be like, well, we got 5 more years, and then that's it.
See, the problem with Cruz is he can barely hit above 200. He's got 20 home runs. He's got 81 RBIs. And his on base, his OPS
got to be 290.
Is 676.
What's his OBP? Got to
See,
be under 300.
Yeah, but
I'm just pulling up what came on ESPN.
So
Yeah.
if they can move him to DH, I don't know if they're gonna bring back McCutcheon. Only if he's a Pirate, he'll come back.
I think McCutcheon. I think if you just keep O'Neal, Cruz, McCutcheon on that team, I think that team will be fine. You just gotta find people that want to hit the ball. That's all. Find people that want to hit the ball. Find people that pitch pretty good, between
Yeah.
pretty good and decent. You'll be.
If you go back all the way back to when Barry Bonds was there, Bobby Bonilla, Andy Van Slyke, that was a great team. Jim
I
Leland.
mean, you could go back like the
even
60s
further
till
back than
90s.
that.
They were good.
When Dave Parker was there, Willie Stargell.
Go back even further, Mazeroski and Clemente. They
I'm
were
just talking
consistently
about what
good for
I'm
30
talking
years.
about what I've seen.
I haven't seen any of them. I saw Bobby Bonilla as a baby with the Mets, and he was awful.
And the Mets are still paying him too, by the way.
I don't care about that because there's so many more people getting paid more. Bruce Sutter was getting paid by the Braves for 40 years until he died. Brett Saberhagen still getting paid. Chris Davis, Manny Ramirez, Griffey, so many of them.
Shit, we might still be paying Grady Size.
I'm not sure. I mean, the Dodgers are going to be paying like 12 guys for the next 15 years with their bullshit deferrals.
Oh, yeah. Just looking at the free agent list, and this is somebody that I wish they would have gone after at the trade deadline. They basically said, we don't care if you can play defense to be on the Pirates. Just show up and be in the field. Just stand there, do whatever you want. I would love to see them go out and pick up Eugenio Suarez. He's a proven bat. I'm not sure what the ballpark factor is for PNC.
It's about equivalent to Seattle. It's not a.
Yeah.
It's a pitcher friendly. It leans more.
But I think like someone like Eugenio Suarez comes into that lineup, I think it instantly changes their lineup. Especially, I understand O'Neal Cruz is not great at getting on base. He's not great at hitting for average, but he is a scary hitter because when he does make good contact, which is rare, he can hit the ball out of the park. I think picking up someone like that, maybe like you said, a McCutcheon, somebody that's a veteran that can kind of lead these guys. It's like the moral of the story that we've had today with these bad teams is they really need to bring someone in to keep everyone together. Let's see. I saw somebody else on this list here.
They need to bring back Neil Walker to be the hitting coach.
Love Neil Walker. Neil Walker.
At third base, you could put there's a free agent out there, Bregman.
Yeah,
I think if he opts out and doesn't stay with
he did. Out.
He wants to stay with the Red Sox. The only other team I could see him going to is the Tigers, which I could also see Suarez going there too.
And I know why you say going to the Tigers because he used to play for that manager.
Yep, and they were very close in the running before he signed with Boston. And
I'm gonna be honest. I don't think AJ. I don't know. I don't think AJ Hinch is gonna stick with that team if they fucking lose to the Guardians again in the playoffs.
I could see coming back to the Pirates, like somebody like Josh Bell.
I was gonna say that I could see them getting see what he can do, or like a Nathaniel Lowe.
Yeah, just one of these older guys that's been around the league.
Lowe will be back in Boston.
Yeah, he should be. He's killing it there.
Yep.
And then the last team here on the list now, we got a couple minutes left, and I'm sure this will only take 30 seconds because I think everyone's answer is going to be absolutely nothing. The Rockies.
Everything.
I couldn't tell you one player on that team.
Brendan
After Ryan McMahon got traded away, I couldn't tell you one player on that team.
Chase Dollander. Charlie Condon.
Zach Veen.
They're not up there yet.
Everything.
Jackson Jobe, is he there? Is that the Tigers?
He's the Tigers still.
Tigers.
They have another guy with a J over there. I can't remember his name then.
I think the one thing I will say about the Rockies
Chris Bryant. Got it.
There is promise in their minor league system with some of their young guys. I don't think there's enough there to make them competitive.
They got he hadn't. I don't know if he started playing with it yet, but Matt Holliday's kid.
Oh yeah. Actually, I was just looking at that. They just drafted him this year.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I think the Rockies just need to build everything. I mean, you got one of the who did they just get in the draft?
They took
Ethan Holiday.
Ethan Holiday.
Matt Holiday's son.
Yeah, there you go. You got a Holiday. There you go.
Well, see, you got Holiday, you got Zach Veen, you got Dolander, you got Brenton Doyle, who I think, or Brendan
Charlie
Doyle.
Condon's coming up.
Yeah, I mean, they've got these
First
young
base.
guys. I don't think that they're going to be. They're not going to be good next year. They're probably not going to be good in 27. Potentially won't be good in 28. But did they fire? Did they saw Bud Black?
No.
Yeah.
They
Yeah.
fired him this year.
Sort of like him with the Pirates and Derek Shelton. They just got fired because not their fault that the team sucks. There's nothing they can do.
I never understood the firing of
One of
managers.
those teams got to bring back my boy Clint Hurdle, proven winner of both those shit teams.
No, they need to bring back Troy Tulowitzki.
And Jim Leland? All right, if you say so.
Well, Trevor Story, I think, is a. If he opts out, he's a potential free agent. I don't know if he has or has not yet opted out, but screw it.
That is like
Trevor
best
Story.
year in like 6 years.
Bring him back. I think Orlando Arcia played there at one point.
Yeah, after the Braves DFA'd him and the Rockies picked him up.
Oh, that happened this year?
Yeah.
Oh, I was going to say, I felt like that's a Rocky name. You know, people like Paul Goldschmidt, guys that are coming to the end of their career that necessarily aren't going to be, needle movers as far as wins, but they're going to bring people in the stands probably, and that's what it seems to me.
Oh,
They
never have a problem with bringing in fans. That's always like a top 5, like most crowds every year.
Get some speed guys. Get a Jorge Mateo. Just play small ball.
Estuary Ruiz.
I love Estuary Ruiz. I think that I don't think he'd ever be a superstar, but he led the AL in steals 2 years ago or something like that.
Yeah, they had like 65.
Yeah.
By the way, Bud Black is no longer the Rockies manager. He was
fired in the middle of the season.
He got fired in June or July.
Yeah.
Wrong. May 11th.
Earlier? Damn, they went really early.
I did think I was watching a Rockies game like the week after that. They ripped off like 4 wins, I want to say, that week.
Well, they beat good teams. They always do well against the Dodgers.
Yeah.
All the time.
So I think at the end of this whole conversation, they'll be like, they have a long way to go. This isn't something that's going to be fixed in one offseason. This isn't something that's going to be fixed at the trade deadline. I don't think it's something that's going to be fixed in 2 seasons. I'm looking at the list of potential free agents, and there's really, besides the couple that we named, there's really nobody here that's going to change anything. Oh, well, Elias Diaz, former Rocky.
Oh, he's ass. He's so bad. He's with the Padres now.
That's what I meant to bring up. Is they always have guys that are having good seasons, and they
got Hunter Goodman. He's pretty good.
But they always
Catcher.
trade him away.
Well, yeah. The offense will always be decent. The pitching won't ever be decent. You've had like 2 starters ever there that had like an ERA under 3.
It's just a tough. I think we talked about it last week a little bit too. It's a tough place to pitch. It's probably the hardest. As far as ballpark factor goes, it's the hardest place to be a decent pitcher. So you're looking for guys like Jamie Moore that are ground ball pitchers. You got to get people that keep the ball on the ground. And I feel like that's where they kind of fall off as they go for these guys. Oh, they have big arms. They can strike people out.
Jamie Moyer finished as a Rocky too in 2012. He was like 49 years old.
I was gonna say he's probably 100 years old pitching for the Rockies.
I saw him play a rehab game with the Reading Phillies when I was like 16, and I swear he was throwing like 52 miles an hour.
I can see it. But that's going to do it for us here on In the Park, presented by Wake Up. If you have a chance, go check out the other shows. There's a lot of good shows going on. Like I said, Tuesdays and Fridays, you have the main show. That's going to be Wake Up Podcast. Starting next Sunday, Comics, tell us about that.
I am going to be with Wake Up Sun Devil. We are going to be doing a NASCAR podcast, and we're going to do in the basis of it. I know there's not a lot of NASCAR friends out there.
Go Bubba Wallace. Just kidding. He
He
sucks.
choked today, by the way.
Good. He loves doing that.
We're going to do a little history of it. We're going to do predictions, and we're going to do our Mount Rushmore.
Lightning McQueen, number 1.
All right. You're a casual.
They're
I used
making
to
a
watch
left
from, like,
turn.
Jimmy
We also-
Johnson was my favorite, and I liked Terry Labonte a lot as a kid.
They're
Casual.
making a left turn.
We also have on, somebody correct me if I'm wrong, I believe it's Fridays at 8 p.m. Eastern. We have the It's Game Day, basically the College Game Day, college football podcast with the new crew. We got Mullet, Ryan, Wonderful was on. You know, they go really in depth. They don't just talk stats and sport and scores and whatnot. And they're really good. They've revamped the whole system. They had their first show all together
Yep.
last Friday. So I definitely, if you're a
Upgraded.
college football fan, I recommend checking them out. And then for anybody that does some online shopping, down in the ticker on the bottom, you can see all our sponsors. I'll try and remember them off the top of the head. It's Walmart, Blue Chew, Jerky Pro. We've got
W Energy.
W Energy, Underdog,
Smack
US, Smack and Sunflower Seeds. We got
I
a whole
forget the
bunch.
other snack. There's another one, I think. I just can't remember it.
Yeah, Jerky Pro, and there's another one. So down in the ticker, you'll see it every show. If you want to go back and watch it, use code WakeUp. You get anywhere between 10 to 30% off of your order. A lot of good products on there, especially with W and Jerky Pro. Blue Chew, if you're feeling up to it, I mean, that's up to you. Use at your own discretion. I'm not gonna.
It works. It works, guys. It works.
SeatGeek as well. Dally can tell you about that. SeatGeek is a great thing to use for
Yep.
tickets. So
Yep.
that's going to be it for us tonight. Thank you for Dally for showing up and showing out, and thank you for everybody else that tuned in. And we will see you guys next week.
Go
Yes,
Cleveland
sir.
and Ball.